Hey, what's up, Evil Dead fans? I'm just making a quick video covering this lightweight chainsaw and some of the details I put into it. Right now, I'm building one for myself as well, not a lightweight one, but flat top as well. The body for this one's done, but let me go over some details here if you want to do a lightweight chainsaw. Now, the only thing that is steel on this thing is the bolts and this piece here. Everything else is lightweight aluminum. This is a normal plastic Homelite body, but everything else is resin, resin cast. But this is real wood. I don't do the casting. I like to use real wood for that. So let's take a quick look at it. As you notice, I put a lot of grit into it. That is the style like Rob's Evil Dead chainsaws. I really like that look. I wanted to go with that with this one. Looks really nice. All the gaps are filled. You got all the grit in there. You got the bottom here. Everything's pre-drilled. That's a cast resin flywheel as well. And this is cast off the Homelite bodies. Or Homelite motors, I'm sorry. But one thing you'll notice here is this one is a combination between the chainsaw and the workshed they're working on and the chainsaw that Ash cuts off the boomstick. There is a couple differences between the two, but it's not a big change. Like right here, this has carriage bolts. That's from him cutting the boomstick. Now the one I'm working on is mostly specific to the one they're working on. It has a different style bolt up here, but I like this look here. And it doesn't have the silver accents on the front right here. I wanted to leave that off. I wanted it more of the look of him cutting the boomstick. And the caps are swapped, and the one they're working on in the workshed, they're not swapped. With the one he cuts off the boomstick, they're swapped. So this one is basically, I would say basically, the one where they're cutting the boomstick in the workshed. Closest to scene accuracy as possible. The bolts are cut in front. If you were doing the one they're working on, it'd be, or in the workshed, they'd be extremely long. One thing I did on here is you notice it's cut here for hand room. Now, if you have a regular sized hand or smaller, and you don't have a big meaty hand, you can put a vertical handle and hold it. The toggle switch does not work on this, so the bottom part, because you know they're pretty thick, that had to be cut off and epoxied. This had to be epoxied on. It does not work, just so it does not hit his hand. He is putting this on a full-size bust of Ash. At the same time, he wants to wear it. So there is, and also there is no inside bar for support. Everything's epoxied in, two-part epoxied in. To keep it lightweight, because the bar will be made of fiberglass. But let me show you the difference here. Notice I can put my hand in here, but this is the one I'm working on. This for myself. This one I probably won't be able to wear, just because you could say, oh, well, you can get your hand in there. We'll look on the right side, see how much room that takes up. How in the heck could I put this on there if it takes up that much room? You could say round this part out, but I really don't want to do that because it really hinders that side bracket look with the cuff, because the cuff, on how it's supposed to sit, it's supposed to be pretty much flush with the bottom, if not just a little bit lower, maybe 1/8 of an inch lower, and it comes up over, actually comes higher than the top, over, gonna cover all that. You have a little gap here, which is screen accurate, comes down, and back over, and up. Now I did add this little piece in here, so it covers just a little bit more, but it's hard to tell with doing this one-handed. But when he puts it on his mannequin, or if he wears it, his sleeve will tuck in just perfectly, or the sleeve on the mannequin will tuck in just perfectly to where it's covering the gap where it's supposed to from the side view whenever the cuff is attached. So you'll see a little bit right here when it goes bonk, you know, right into it. So it's perfect. Pull string works. The heaviest part on this is the pull string assembly. He wanted to keep it. So if I lift it up, you can see which way it tilts. That direction. That is the heaviest part on this chainsaw. This thing is let's say a little over 2 pounds now with the top on there, and it'll be most likely 3 pounds when it's done, which is super, super lightweight. It just turned out great. What I did for the top aluminum here to make this nice brownish, blackish oil is I used a all-purpose acrylic. Make sure it's all-purpose, a satin one. Brushed it on, wiped off all the excess, let that dry, and then I used, and it's an acrylic too, but it's called Antiquing, and it's cocoa bean. Its color's called cocoa bean. I brushed that on, wiped it off, all the excess, and it turns that black into a brownish oil look. When you do put it on anything black, it will lighten it up. So beware if you decide to do it on the grit. And this grit's nothing but black sand painted over with actually a gloss black to make it look somewhat fresh. But yeah, I really, really like this saw. I'm just waiting for the cuff to come in, and once the cuff comes in, I'll make the bar, and then it's ready to go. I just don't want to get it all done if he's not ready to receive it yet. I don't think he's gonna pay for it until June or July or something. I just got started on it early and just really liked building this. So, but yeah, just remember, if you're gonna do a flat top and you want to wear it, remember your hand size. If you have a big, meaty, freaking hand, you will want to cut out like this, but you'll want to do a horizontal handle. You don't want vertical because of the way your wrist sits. See how it's wider here and then not as wide here? But you still want to have enough hand room. If you want to round this side out, you can. I don't like the look of it, but you definitely can. But this one, plenty of room for him, plenty of room for me. And trust me, Oscar, I Facebook crept you so I could see how big your hand is and see how big of a dude you were to see how exactly I need to make this for you. But no, it turns out perfectly. And from a side view, that cuff should come right up to here, all the way down. So this gap will be completely covered by the cuff. And it'll be underneath for hand room. So I hope that helped you guys out if you're building one and you're worried about hand room in a flat top, because I mean, that's why they made the raised top, for more hand room. Really, that's why they made those. So the flat top can be a little bit harder. It's as hard as you want it to be, really. I mean, the only reason I'm doing it like this for mine is because I'm not really worried about putting my hand in it. It's mostly just for, display, for my display, and that's it. I don't even know if I'm going to put a handle in this thing. I don't know. But, for Oscar, I wanted to make sure he had plenty of hand comfort, hand room, and make it lightweight so he could either put it on display or he could take it off his full ash bust and wear it and do whatever he wants with it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Tell me what you guys think. But the one thing I didn't do, before I let you go, one thing I didn't do, but I'm going to do on this one, is I didn't put the black tape on the front, the hideous black tape that everybody remembers, because it's hideous. Just to let you know. I am going to do it on mine just because nobody's ever done it, but I didn't want to send this off with a bunch of hideous black tape where he's like, what, that's ugly. That's one of the ugliest things on the chainsaw. So I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it nice and pristine and really cool looking. More of what people know as the classic look. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and you guys have a great day and stay groovy. I'm going to go lay down because I am sick as a dog. And yeah, and my good friend Philip up there in Canada, your chainsaw is on its way. You guys stay groovy.